Hello, welcome to my channel. And today we shall be talking about the impact of abandonment on our mental health. Who are those who have suffered from abandonment? Have you abandoned your loved ones? Have you abandoned your children? Children, have you abandoned your parents? Have you abandoned your relatives? Abandon your wife, abandon your husband, abandon even your patients in the hospital. Doctors, you abandon your patients. There sometimes we abandon our relatives in the prison, abandon the children in the orphanage. We do not visit them, we do not care about them. Please watch this video. Many people are lamenting in pain. Many people are dying in silence. Many people have been abandoned, maybe by their children, like parents. A woman that gave birth to 5 children, nobody calls her, no child visits her. They do not care about her mental health. They do not care about her well-being. They do not check her, no medications for her. This lady is suffering from cough consistently. Yeah, she does not have any medications for that. It leads to TB, and sometimes you see her, she gets into paralysis. Sometimes she gets into shocked, into trauma. She gets paralyzed. No one is there to give her water, and she struggles alone to get her water, to get her food. She struggles to work her farm, and sometimes she dies when it is not even time because of stress, because there is no one to talk to, no one to relate with, no one to laugh with, no one to share your pain or your joy with. So abandonment is something that kills. We have abandoned our children. Children go to school with no writing materials. We have abandoned them to the instructors, to the teachers. We just keep them there. They don't have even the uniforms. They don't have even school shoes. We do not care. We have abandoned them to themselves. Sometimes these children are malnourished. There is no food, nobody to cook for them. They come from school, they move from quarter to quarter, and sometimes they get into stealing because nobody is there to care for them. They have been abandoned to themselves and they suffer a lot. Sometimes we tend to blame the children. It's because we abandon them and they get frustrated. They do not know what to do. They join bad friends and start stealing. What do you expect from the child that has been abandoned from childhood? What do you expect that a class 4 child has been abandoned by the mother, by the father, and the child lives on his own alone? Sometimes people come in to the house that are maybe thieves. They come and give him ideas, and he joined the gangs in order to steal, in order to survive, because we abandoned him, because we rejected him. So abandonment is very painful. It causes a lot of trauma. We have taken our loved ones to the hospital and abandoned them when they started getting better, just because we heard that the bills are very high. We just run away. We do not care again. We do not check. And sometimes we run away and they stay and die because of shock, because of thinking, because of the questions they cannot answer in the hospital. We have abandoned our sick persons, who were operated. They have stayed in the hospital maybe for a month or 2. Sometimes some of them tend to do odd jobs in the hospital in order to get little money to buy something to eat. So abandonment kills. We have physical abandonment. We have emotional abandonment. Husband and wife. Emotionally, you are battling with your feelings. You are living in a relationship, but you have been abandoned because you don't have anybody to talk to. You do not have anybody to relate with. You do not have anybody to share your pain with. You need satisfaction. You need to be satisfied by your wife or your husband, but they are not there. They have abandoned you, maybe for another one. Sometimes they run away, leaving the wife alone with the children to suffer. Sometimes it's the wife that runs away, abandoning the husband and the children, going away, leaving them to suffer. We have relatives and friends in the prison. They need us to visit them, to talk to them. They need clothing, they need food, they need care, they need at least to relate with us, family. But we have abandoned them. We keep on judging them as they did this or they did that. It is the time for us to show them love so that they can also maybe change their ways, amend their ways and their doings. We can visit them, be closer to them so as to help them to come out of that shame or of that trauma. They are our friends and relatives. Anybody can be locked up. Today they are the ones, tomorrow it may be you and I. So we also need people to visit us. Why do we have to abandon our own people? It is very painful. Patients die in the hospital, sometimes not because they were not given good medical attention, sometimes because of shock. Some fall into paralysis because of shock. You are getting into the hospital, you first pass like 3 mortuaries. Mortuaries were at first behind the hospital, not in front of the hospital. What is happening to us that this time mortuaries are lined up in front of the hospital, coffins are lined up in front of the hospital, and a patient that is abandoned in the hospital gets from a coma and gets into shock again because no one is there to talk with you. You do not know whether you will survive. The next thing you are thinking of is the mortuary you saw while entering the hospital or the coffin you saw. Sometimes those things, they are gradually, they torment the patient, but we do not know. We are giving a blind eye to it, but it is not healthy. We need to help our relatives to survive. Thanks for watching. Please share to save more lives. Abandonment kills.